Hello, Talk Football Live fans. We are back again, the ABC crew. Ayo, Biodun, and Charles. We're here to discuss Arsenal versus Aston Villa EPL game of the weekend. How you guys doing
That's
today?
right. Good,
Awesome.
good, good.
Good,
Man,
good.
it's a good time. EPL, Champions League, back to back to back to
No,
back.
it's
Let's go.
no,
It's
it's
April.
yeah, it's a fiesta for us, we football fans. And these are my Arsenal fan friends. Ayo and Biodun. We're talking about your team this weekend. And we're talking about Unai Emery, your former coach, who happens to be a thorn in your flesh. Well, I hope it can be a thorn in your flesh. But yeah, before I even go further with this tease for my Arsenal fans, I want to say we the top football fans, hosts are very, very grateful to you fans for watching, for subscribing, for sharing everything you do. We hope you continue doing that. Watch, subscribe, share, tell everyone about us. All right, Biono and Ayo. Aston Villa Arsenal. Arsenal is on top of the table right now, leading by 9 goals, goal difference. 9 or 10. I don't know if it's 9 or 10.
Nine, yeah,
Nine.
nine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And they look unstoppable. I've been saying it. Arsenal is the best defensive pairing. They say Ferguson said if you want to win, attack wins you games, defense wins you championship or leagues. I'm convinced Arsenal has what it takes, and I've been saying it. Even though a lot of Arsenal fans don't believe me. Arsenal has what it takes to win the league. And that they're back on top of the table. Honestly, 9 games to go. I mean, 7, 8 games to
Seven.
go. 7. Okay. Win all those games, Arsenal automatically wins the league. Easy on paper. Aston Villa, Arsenal.
This
Normally,
guy.
we will start with breaking it down, but I want to start in a different way. Give me your prediction. Ayo, I'm going with you first. Give me your prediction and tell me how that prediction can come true. What if you're saying Arsenal is going to win? Tell me what Arsenal needs to do to make that happen. And if you think Aston Villa is going to win, tell me how that's going to happen.
So prediction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna predict that Arsenal wins 3-1
Okay. Fair. Fair.
in that
Hopefully,
game. We're at
Gordon will predict
home.
the opposite. Aston Villa win.
We're at home in that game. Also, I think Arsenal have had 2 extra days to rest, and in terms of confidence, I think the draw against Bayern would have boosted the morale to say yes, we can compete. At the top end of the table with the best in Europe,
Yeah.
and we don't have any new injuries, so I think it's a full squad for Ateta to pick from.
Okay. So, on paper, what do you think the lineup is going to look like? Because I know the Champions League game, there was a lot of debate about the left back, Kiwa playing, what's his name? Zinchenko coming in this Tomiyasu. And then Jorginho seems to have been playing in the last 2 or 3 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been starting with Rice for a few games here.
Exactly. And then we know Partey is kind of back. So, what do you think the lineup is going to be like? And of course, Jesus up front, Havertz up front, debating for competing for the number 9 spots. What's your prediction of the lineup?
So interestingly, I think that game against Bayern was probably one where we started to see maybe that Declan Rice is getting tired,
Mm,
which was interesting because he's been a mainstay for us this season. I mean, I think he's a big reason why we have the best defense in the Premiership at the moment.
okay.
Uh, I want to see Tomiyasu starting at the left back position because I fully expect Leon Bailey to start for Villa on Sunday. He played in the Europa League game against Lille and he was brought off after about 73 minutes. So I expect that was partly in preparation for Sunday's game to give him some breathing room. So I expect him to start again. He's been in good form recently. And I would like to see someone who is, right footed and able to match him defensively. So I hope Tomiyasu starts, but I think, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The rest of the defense will be the same. In midfield, I think one of Rice or Jorginho might get a break and Partey comes in to start this game.
Okay.
Partey's been back for a while now, and I want to see him match fit, ready to go against Bayern, whether he starts the game or not. I think we will need Partey in that game for control because I think a big part of what Bayern did to us was the ability to counter and cause chaos. So I
Mhm.
hope I want to see Partey get significantly more game time this Sunday. Up front, Havertz has been starting. I think that will continue as well. I don't think he'll play the full game again. I think he'll maybe get a breather, and we'll see Jesus come in. Martinelli seems fit enough to start again. He had a decent game against Bayern. I expect he'll start again, and I expect Saka and Odegaard to start as well.
Okay, cool. Biodo, any counters based on what Ayo just said? I'm not even going to ask for your own prediction. We already are predicting Arsenal is going to win. So if you want to surprise us, predict Aston Villa wins, and then
I'm not predicting
your lineup.
We don't shy away from prediction.
No,
I know.
I'm not going to be bullish. I'm going to continue to stay humble until
Okay. You're finally taking a leaf from my book. I like that.
There's no point to be braggadocious here. I wish and I want a win. But at this point, I'm taking it game by game. It's a better. It gives me some pace compared to last week when we had to go to Brighton. I was really worried about Brighton, but also remember that Aston Villa is way up there compared to Brighton, meaning Aston Villa is a stronger and a better team than Brighton.
Definitely.
So even though we had a great performance at Brighton, I think the team cannot say that it's over. The work is still there. Even if you have 2 games left, there's still a lot of work to do. So continue to play great, continue to play very strong, and don't give up. Take all the games as finals as we have taken them. I do not expect this game to be easy, and I will tell you why. We're playing against an adversary, and I will say it anytime, any day. Just like Man United try to stop Liverpool. I think that's what we should expect. I think we should expect Villa trying to do what Man U did to Liverpool. So in that case, Emery is going to come out with every tactics possible to deny Arsenal because I feel that it still feels like he was wrongly dismissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he wants to prove a point. And I pray that he will be disappointed and he will be put to shame. He and his
Amen.
this is not a prayer session. Turn it into a revival, you're welcome. So we need to bind every counsel of Emery Aitofel, and make sure that it doesn't succeed on that day, on Sunday. I don't know if I caught part of their game in the Europa, but it looked like a first team to me, except for some few players. And I think they got their goals and arrested the key players. So I'm guessing that in anticipation of the game against us. Oli Watkins has been in a very good form, and when the striker is in a good form, that is not a player that you take your eyes off. Gabriel Mangaliz and Saliba, they didn't do well against Bayern. That is not the typical defense that we've seen from Arsenal, right? So we're too excited during the Champions League game. We opened up too much, and I think we cannot do that against Aston Villa. Meaning, we're going to have to be serious from the first second of the game to the very last minute and be compact as we can. I don't know if Giorgio is fit enough to play our typical formation. I'm glad that Douglas Luiz is missing, so maybe they will feel his absence. Kamara has been injured, so I don't know who is going to play.
Is he missing? Is he suspended for the game?
Suspended for the game.
Luiz is suspended, yeah.
Yeah, Douglas Luiz is suspended for the game. My game is back, so there's some energy coming from my game, obviously. And I think we have Rice. It's going to be Rice against Magin. Magin is a very rough player. He's probably going to be targeting Odegaard. But Odegaard had a good game. The truth is, people need to be reminded at the first leg, even though we lost, we played better. We played them. We just didn't convert. And this is the time for Odegaard to be forgiven because I haven't forgiven him since that day. He had 2 clear chances that he missed. So this is the time for Odegaard to redeem himself, and so that I can forgive him once and for all, or else I continue to whatever. So Odegaard needs to show up as the captain. He needs to show up as the captain. We need to score quick and early goals if we want to win. I don't know how it's going to turn around its game changes. But I think for us, what is good for us is actually control the game, score early goals, rest key players for the game coming up during the week, the Champions League game. But I have seen situations whereby they just drag you to the very end and you have to keep your best on the team. So the great thing is that Trossard remains reliable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to jinx it. If we need help, we can bring Trossard up. But I think Martinelli should start. I think he will have a good chance against Digne. I don't think Emery, Ayo, you can correct me. I don't think Emery will come out defending. What do you think? Do you think he's going to come out defending and try to play on a counter, or you think he's going to come out and play toe-to-toe? I'll leave that to Ayo. But I want to win. I hope we don't get carried away, and I hope we don't choke, as some people are expecting us to choke.
All right. Some people are expecting you to choke. Okay, everybody in the league. Every opponent in the league is expecting you to choke. Ayo had mentioned something about Rice being tired. And Ayo, just remind me, are you saying because Rice is tired, it's going to be Jorginho and Partey?
No. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Declan Rice will either start or he will come in. I mean, the only thing is he might go off early is what I think. But I expect Rice will still start.
You're trying to start along with Jorginho or along with Partey?
Along with either of them.
Yeah.
I think it's likely Jorginho is the one who's rested. Just because of his age and where he's at.
I thought you said Partey Jorginho combination, Rice rested because he's tired. So I was going to ask Biodun what he thinks about that. But
yeah, I think my prediction is this for the starting for the lineup.
Yeah, right.
I think it's going to be the same thing as we started against Bayern. I think it's going to be Jorginho with Rice. Rice needs to be managed because if it breaks down, we are done. It needs to be managed. Now, against Bayern, he was cautious, and I think he was a bit tired. He had a yellow card and he played well. And thankfully, the yellow card I would have received, Partey received that yellow card on his behalf. So if you notice the way Arteta likes to play, he likes to use Rice's energy up front and have Jorginho be behind.
Yeah.
Now, playing against Emery, he's probably studying. He's probably going to try to find somebody on top of Jorginho.
Okay.
But if we can press them, right, then that means they have to stay back. So I think we should start with Rice and Odegaard to press, Havertz in front. But this is where I get confused. Should Jesus start or should Martinelli start? And
I was just going to ask you that question because I know we were talking about it for the last game, and I expected Martinelli to start. And you said, "Do you really think he should start ahead of Jesus?" And I said, "Yes, Martinelli." But Jesus started that game on the left. So what do you think? Does Jesus start or does Martinelli start on the left?
I think
is Havertz starting or is he rested?
Honestly, Havertz is unbenchable right now because you see his work rate. You see him coming back and helping in the defense. That's something that Chelsea people are learning that they didn't see in him. So I think Havertz keeps his share. I think Saka plays. And I think Martinelli starts. And I think Jesus is better off coming from the bench. When Jesus gets the joy of starting, he messes up. He doesn't listen and he doesn't think right. Jesus stay on the bench. Trossard should stay on the bench. Let Martinelli start. Martinelli has been disappointing. I want to give him another chance to redeem himself. I know he's just coming back from an injury. Because I think we need the speed. Honestly, I just need something to push back Bailey to not think I can come at us. Now, should it be Tomiyasu and Kiwa? I think Tomiyasu should get some minutes in readiness of the Champions League game. And if you play Martinelli, I think you need Tomiyasu. So that Ben White can support Saka. I think I would take that chance. And if it doesn't work out, we switch. We'll bring Zini and we'll switch it back and we'll bring Jesus. But I'll start with Martinelli.
All right. Fair enough. The good thing is you guys have options. That's what it seems like. You have lots of options. And that's always a good thing for a coach. All right, so still talking about us now, and because you guys are on top of the league, and like we mentioned earlier, win the remaining games, you win the league. I would like to see what do you have to face for the rest of the season? Who do you have to face for the rest of the season? What opponents do you have? Ayo, do you have a list for us of the remaining games for us now? Okay, for the top three, good. But let's focus on us now. Amongst these guys, well, they already show us by highlighting the red, seriously red for Tottenham. They're telling us which opponent is the toughest. But by your opinion, you guys are Arsenal fans, you've been Arsenal fans for years, and you've games. Based on what you've seen this season so far, who do you think is the toughest? Just give me one.
I mean, you have no spread on City. That's your answer.
Say that again.
You have less red on City.
Yo, yeah, way
Why
less.
are you asking us?
Way less. But anyways, who do you think is the toughest opponent? Just give me one on this list. Biodu, and tell me why.
Oh man, honestly, like I said, I am not one of those people. I've learned my lesson, right? And I'm glad where we sit, and I'm glad how things are going. And I'm
Yep.
going to be careful, and I'm not going to let somebody change the way I'm addressing this, even though I'm not the one playing the games. Um, I would rather just take it a game by game. And every opponent is tough. All these games here are winnable. All these games here are could be lost. That's the
I
truth,
agree.
right? But like I said, take it game by game. We have a mountain before us right now, which is Aston Villa. We need to climb it, and that's what I want to focus on.
But you still have to answer the question, though.
What is the question?
On paper, who do you think is the toughest opponent and why?
For Arsenal,
Yes.
all these teams here are the toughest. Are very tough.
Biodu, why you being
Politician.
What is
They are very tough. The level of toughness could just be different on paper.
exactly?
Right?
So which one do you think is the toughest?
You have Aston Villa coming from the back of a Champions League game and playing a Champions League. That makes it tougher, right? Because you don't have a break, to gather your energy and intensity. So that makes Aston Villa tougher. Plus, they don't want to lose the top four. So you're playing a team that wants to make it to Champions League next season. It makes it tough, and you're playing against your former manager that probably still had some things against you. That makes it very tough. That's number one. I will give the answer. I will give my analysis, and I'll let you pick the answer. So that's Aston
No.
Villa.
Stop.
Tottenham.
Hold on, Biodu. Because of our time, we need
Yes.
the answer and the reason.
I don't know.
We'll come back to you. Ayo, what do you think?
I actually think Aston Villa is the toughest team that we'll have to play.
Good. That's
I
what
think it's Aston Villa. I think this weekend is the big test. Tottenham is going to be tricky, but I think we have enough to control the way they like to play.
Okay. So you think Aston Villa is the toughest, and what's your reason?
Just because Aston Villa is complete. I mean, they've been solid every area. Emery has brought them a long way. I'm very happy, like that Biodun says, Douglas Luiz is out of the game because he's been a key for them this season. And as good as Villa have been, they're still a bit reliant on some players. So when they lost McGinn and Watkins out at the same time, you could see the deficiency, the weaknesses pop out of the team all of a sudden. And I think it's kind of the same way if Douglas Luiz is going to be missing. I mean, and every team kind of has that. You look at City, for example. I was looking at a stat the other day that said that Rodri hasn't lost the last 66 games that he's played with City. And I mean, that's an incredible record.
Yep.
It means when Rodri plays, they don't lose.
Yep.
But when Rodri goes out, the games that they've lost this season were the games that, Rodri missed. I think Luis might have such an impact, which is, what is helpful. But Tottenham tend to go guns blazing, and I know there will be chances. So it's a matter of, can we stop the attack? With Villa, when we played them the first game, we missed chances and we didn't score.
Okay.
And so the question is, it's there. They can hold us. They have Emi Martinez in goal. So can we score? Will they score? I feel like that game is a bit more balanced than any other one that we might be facing on the schedule.
Fair response. We did say we're going to come back to Biodu, but then we'll come back to him next week. We'll see. So for now,
Do you have an answer for us now? Who is your toughest opponent that you're going to face in the remaining 7 games? I mean, the season is still long, guys. Let's be serious. There's 21 games left to play.
My toughest opponents in this list is Tottenham.
Okay, fair enough. You don't even need to give the reason. We know, we see it on there. They're red. We've seen the way they've been playing all season. So yeah, and it's a London derby, so it's expected. All right, thank you, Ayo, for bringing this up for us. So next, we'll just run through a quick prediction for the remaining games of the season. Did I say season? Of the weekend. And it's going to be quick. You don't even need to give me a scoreline. Let's do it like the professionals do it, like the big professionals do it. Let's give you a win or a loss or a draw. If it's a win, tell me who's gonna win. If it's a draw, tell me it's a draw. Simple. Let's go. Ayo, do you have a lineup for us of the remaining games of the weekend?
Not at all. Let me see.
Yeah, we've been discussing Arsenal, Aston Villa, but we know there's some good games also going on. I know the Spurs are playing.
Yeah, Newcastle Spurs is the first game of the
Newcastle
weekend.
Spurs is the first game. So,
Yeah.
Biodu, Newcastle Spurs, right? As Ayo brings up, the list. Newcastle Spurs. Do you think someone's going to win? And if you do, who do you think is going to win?
Newcastle has been surprising me so far, and I'm trying to remember what the first leg was. I think Spurs won. Yeah, Spurs destroyed them. I think Newcastle will win because Newcastle has won the last two games when I expected them not to win. They actually won an away game recently, and I think they are probably getting back to that stable situation, and they're actually feeling confident that they can get the spot ahead of Man U. So they're playing at home. I'll give it to Newcastle.
Impressive. Newcastle Spurs, you give it to Newcastle. Okay.
Yeah.
Brentford, Sheffield United. Sheffield United, along with Luton, are Ayo's favorite teams. So, Ayo, what do you think? Brentford, Sheffield. Win or draw?
Draw. I'm gonna go with a draw. Brentford have
Yeah.
been licking goals recently.
Yeah. When in doubt, a draw.
No, this is. I think this is a Brentford win. This is the Brentford that should have beaten Chelsea.
Should have, but they didn't.
Yeah,
It's always
There's so many games.
for Chelsea.
There's so many games they should have. Should have. There was the Man U game too, I think.
I say that because they have the three guys back. They have Wissa, they have
Wissa and
Mbeumo,
Mbeumo
and they
back.
have
Yeah.
Tony back.
So I think they will score. I don't think it will be a goalless draw. I think it's looking more like a 2-2 draw. There will be goals, but they're also conceding. They've been vulnerable defensively.
So, Ayo, you think Brentford, Sheffield will be a draw? And like I said, when in doubt, just give us a draw. Biodu, Burnley, Brighton.
Oh, their coach is serving a suspension, but with that suspension, he drew Chelsea. But this is Brighton, the Arsenal beat at home, and it's time for revenge, and they're hot, and De Zerbi is mad. Brighton will beat Burnley.
Okay, fair enough. Let's just skip that one and go to Nottingham Forest Wolves.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Why did you skip that one?
I'm joking. The thing is, Ayo at the beginning of the season said Luton would not win. And
He said he switched his commitment, and now he's saying that if Luton escaped relegation, then he will personally apologize. Isn't that what?
Ayo, you
Correct.
still guys.
I've apologized. I've apologized for saying that they will not win any game this season. They've proven me wrong. They finally found their feet in the Premiership, but they are yet to escape relegation. So let's see if they can manage that. I feel like that's a taller ask. But let's see.
True. And we all believe Man City is going to beat them. So
they're going to the Etihad. Come on, Rodri is available. Maybe if Rodri wasn't available, we might say okay, there's a chance. But Rodri is available.
Good one.
I'm sorry, it's at the Etihad.
Wolves, Nottingham Forest. I would take that and just say Wolves is going to win. I'm saying that. So you said why?
Yes.
I'm just saying that.
Why?
I'm saying that off the experience Wolves has had in recent years more than Nottingham Forest, and this is crunch time. I think Wolves will have the upper hand in this game. See, I don't really have a real reason. It's just intuition. Okay. Bournemouth, Manchester United. Biodu.
How? It's going to be a tough one for Man U, especially they're playing away, and Man U has been up and down. But I think the confidence I think it's going to be a draw.
A draw. Okay, interesting.
Wow. Okay.
I know, right? Liverpool, Crystal Palace. Liverpool playing in the Europa they really struggled. They really struggled. Lost 3-0 to who they lose to? What's their name now?
Atalanta.
Thank you, Atalanta. So I don't know if Klopp was thinking about this Liverpool Crystal Palace game. I don't know why.
Wait, what is the excuse? What is the excuse in that game? Because you guys are saying stuff. I mean, the regular players started.
The lineup was kind of iffy. He started some bench guys. So
I saw those comments and I'm like, who? Because other than Curtis Jones standing in midfield, which Curtis Jones is a starter,
I think
having Elliott coming in. Elliott came in for Salah. That's who was playing when Salah was. But that's who was playing when Salah was injured. So besides those two guys, Tsimikas has been playing most of the games with. When Robertson has been injured for a lot this season, they've either played Joe Gomez or Tsimikas. So those are really the three only guys that changed. They started Van Dijk. I mean, Allison is injured, so they've played
Soboslai
Keller
didn't
with a
start.
lot of the
Soboslai,
season.
because in the second half he made.
So that's what I'm saying. Curtis Jones came in. So besides that, Endo and McAllister started, which is their normal midfield. Konate and Van Dijk started in defense.
In defense, yeah. True. Well,
Trent is, so maybe they don't have their full first team available because of injuries.
No, it's even a flimsy excuse. I mean,
it is.
Against Arsenal in their house, 1-1, Tsimikas started. So you don't tell me that Tsimikas had been a starter since Robertson had been injured. He's a starter.
Right.
Joe Gomez is a starter. Van Dijk is the captain, is a starter. Konate is a starter. Kwanzaa is a junior. Kwanzaa has been playing because Konate was injured and was recovering. Tell me on that team, who should have played? People have been saying McAllister is the best midfielder for Liverpool this season. He started, he played 90 minutes.
So you guys don't believe it was a fluke. It was.
I'm not buying it. I would have understood a 2-1 loss.
And Atalanta will beat them at home. So it's
I would have understood a 2-1 loss. Like, okay, maybe they didn't have enough for a draw, but it was 3-0. I mean,
it was convincing. It was convincing. Now, given the goals where Van Dijk was a little bit off, I think 2 of the goals he played them with the man onside.
It should have been more than 3. Did you see the beginning of the first half?
Yes.
Those guys were playing back pass inside the box.
Exactly. So they were a little off, but that's their problem, right? Liverpool Crystal Palace. Aya, what do you think? Based off, what you've seen them playing in Europa.
I have a request.
Go ahead.
Can I replace Crystal Palace with Atalanta?
No, you can't. Atlanta has done their job. Let Crystal Palace do theirs.
Otilo.
Aya, Crystal Palace, Liverpool. What do you think?
I expect Liverpool. This one.
Yeah, you have to catch yourself there, Abi.
I know. I was about to write it off, but because Crystal Palace have a new manager and they've been unpredictable recently. They've, I don't know. This one is a tough call. I'd say Liverpool will sneak it still. I'd say Liverpool win.
They'll sneak through. Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll sneak through.
They will draw.
Take your forbid.
Amen.
West Ham Fulham. That the first leg they gave a wrong red card and they beat Crystal Palace 9 minutes. This is time for Crystal Palace to revenge. It's a draw.
I hope so.
Okay. West Ham Fulham and Biodo.
West Ham Fulham.
Yeah.
West Ham. And I say that because I'm praying that Fulham gets angry against their next game against Liverpool. So Fulham goes at home, right? They will be angry and they will lose again against West Ham. And they will take that anger when Liverpool comes to their house.
Still wishes.
I know, right? If wishes were horses. Okay. Aston Villa, I think we already talked about that. So on that,
you take the last one, Charles. Chelsea Everton.
I'm just let me talk now. I was getting there.
Oh God.
You know what? To the best game of the weekend for the best team in the Premier League, Chelsea Football Club of London. Chelsea Everton. See, honestly, I'm never gonna lie. You know me, I like to make a speech about how I like to separate emotion from reality. And I always use Arsenal and Liverpool to and I'll break it up. Even though Brodo seems to not get it every time, he uses it against me. Prediction is different from what you want. If they say the sun is shining outside,
speech.
You understand? And it's broad daylight. But you want it to be night because you want to go out at night. You will say, although I want it to be night though, I'm looking outside. It's daytime, I'm saying.
If I watch Arsenal, let me bring Mac closer for you.
Whatever. If I watch Arsenal and I say I think Arsenal will win the league, I predict Arsenal will win the league. If they give me $1 million now and say bet, so you can win 2 million back, who would you put your money on? I'll put it on Arsenal. Doesn't mean I want Arsenal to win. Because I know if Arsenal wins, you guys not let me hear a word. I still want Liverpool to win. Maybe not City because Pep needs to relax, So, all I'm saying is prediction is different from reality. Prediction-wise, I'm predicting maybe a 1-1 draw because Chelsea, their defense lately has been doing rubbish. You understand? But what I want to, as a Chelsea fan, as you can see by my background, It's a 3-1 win for Chelsea. Does that answer you guys' question?
Everton. Okay. I think you meant 3-3, but I'll shut up.
3-3, 1-1. Like we said, on at 1 point.
So what you want is a win, but what you expect is a draw. Okay,
Yes.
got it. Okay, took 2 minutes to arrive there, but we got it. All right, cool.
Exactly. All right. On that note, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm glad you guys are able to come in and enjoy our talk. You are fans. Hopefully these games, those of you who watch, enjoy the games over the weekend. As mentioned earlier at the beginning, do not forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, loved ones, and even sometimes you can share with your enemies. An Arsenal fan, share with a Chelsea fan, share with a Barca fan. Mix it up a little bit. On that note, Ayo Abiodun, thank you very much. We look forward to next episode.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
Thank you.
Nice chatting always.